Good day, peeps, and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero, or should I say, the Tunnel of Love. Since last time we learned that Junebug and Johnny, was it? Yeah, Johnny. We already knew that they got something going on, but that they might have some plans for the future, to say the least. I don't want to blurt out anything in case I'm misinterpreting anything, but there might be something lovey-dovey going on. But anyways, see that small brick building? Used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop name's been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the great frame of an old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. This is... what? Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by her aunt, Judah? Very little is known about him. His crime is generally assumed to be violent or otherwise gruesome in detail. Through a course that's all speculation and probably comes from his association with the taxidermy business. Even though he never so much as skins a squirrel. He's more like a silent partner. Oh shoot. I guess those are the ones you're supposed to keep an eye on. But Judah's old and keeps to himself, and the consensus seems to be that he's paid his debt to society, whatever that debt may have been. What? Shannon retreated to the TV room to browse the Mammoth's video collection. Oh, you're right, it's a boat, so I don't really have any control, do I? Shannon followed the other travelers ashore to a drowsy beachside bar called the Rum Colony. Let's go back to the Mammoth's video game collection, or video collection, not video game collection. Act 4, Scene 3. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of scenes in this one. Seeing that I'm only like, what, an hour in? You look nice with your hair like set up like that, Shannon. Suit ya. Like, I feel like you can definitely see how, like, the dedication to this game changed. Like, just in style, it looks much better, in my opinion, compared to when we started playing this. Like, it's 2D but 3D at the same time. The shelves are full of dusty tape. Some have been relabeled several times, the stickers piling up thick on their spines. Funeral thing? Well, I guess we're just gonna insert it. Why did you set your hair up like that? I don't know. Who's that in the other room? Oh, is this gonna be weird? An elderly couple sit on folding chairs in the middle of the TV studio, undecorated except for a funereal lily in a thin blue vase on the table. The lights are a bit too dim to make out their features. She reads the newspaper with unhurried efficiency. Gloria B. of Montfortville passed away on Monday at her residence. Survivors include her children Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, and Bobby. All of Montfortville. A memorial service will be held at 7 p.m. Thursday at Haddon Hoffman Funeral Home in Montfortville, with a cremation to follow. She never knew Gloria. He thinks he may have heard the name, wondering aloud if she ever worked at a cafe down there in Montfortville. The woman who ran that place was once called Gloria, and maybe still is. This game is weird. I'm just gonna put that out there, and it does not allow me to share my thoughts a lot because I'm gonna have to read all this. They take a call someone who knew Gloria B, if not very well. The caller once installed a satellite dish at Gloria's house, a 900 square foot ranch-style home on 2 acres of at a dead end backed by woods and pine. When the caller mounted the ladder up to Gloria's roof, she slid open her window and tugged urgently at the pant leg. He followed her gaze behind the house to 2 wild turkeys pegging through the weeds. Gloria and the caller watched, silent and still, as the huge birds foraged obliviously into the trees. God, I cannot read, I am sorry. Then he installed the satellite dish. Sad? So you're sad, so you don't want to watch it anymore. Is that it? Are we gonna have to watch all these tapes? Shelves are full of dusty tapes. Some of it is really... Oh god. Or, What's that? I don't want to watch all the movies. It's gonna take forever. It's gonna be a lot of pointless reading. Well, that is kind of the thing about this game. It's very slow paced. It takes its time, which I don't mind usually when I play games by myself, but in a video format it's not that good. That awful hum seems to start before Shannon even hits play. Then there's the familiar room. There are the blank grey walls marked with tape and school desks. And this time she notices a few more details. The murky carpet like standing water. Some video equipment stashed in the corner. A row of lockers. And there's Weaver, looking serenely at the camera. As before she starts speaking, and as before there's no sound but that hum. Shannon finds Weaver's words coming back to her, as they appear in caption on the screen. So Weaver's dead, right? Mail, school, and these magnificent, tragic horses. Go underground as deep as you go. The air is cool, and the earth is damp. And when you close your eyes, you are surrounded by the dead. Remember where that is? You'll find your way from there. The air is cool, the earth is damp. Close your eyes, you're surrounded by the dead. The graveyard? I think this place is what you're looking for. Some of it will wash away soon, but I think you'll be happy here, even without the mail. School. The text repeats itself for a few minutes and Shannon stops the tape. Okay. Let's be inconsiderate and leave that for now without ejecting the disc, it's fine. Or the tape. So I still actually don't know... Does this take place in a specific time? Like, does this take place in the future or something? Because we've got androids. But I don't know if that's just an alternate universe. And we got that big android mammoth thing. What up, Kate? What up, Will? No, it's only a few notes. Slow and sad. Like funeral music, you know? I remember it being sad. Just a simple and unburdened. Maybe that's what the funeral music sounds like to me. Unburdened. Oh, hello. Kate and I were just trying to remember the mammoth song. But neither of us have heard it in years. We'll just found the mechanism. In the mammoth's belly, hidden in gritty matted fur. It's a big music box, a slowly spinning cylinder covered in metal pins that pluck her dulcet guts and pump the bellows in her bowels. What? Some of the pins are rusted and worn away, easy to replace if we can ever even remember what the notes were. Did I hear you browsing the archive next door? Find anything good? I found something pretty unsettling, actually. Oh dear. I don't even know what's on half of those tapes anymore. It used to be all movies and that kind of stuff. I like nature documentaries especially. Some people left home movies or little art videos they'd made. But that damn VCR devours anything you leave in it. It just switches into record mode at random, I think. And picks up whatever's coming in over the antenna. Of course, the only station we got down here is the WEVP, community television, you know. They've got that show with the gentleman playing banjo in his birthday suit. I'm sure you've seen it. Oh yeah. If there's no tape in the machine when it tries to start recording, it makes this awful sound, like putting a squeaky toy in the food processor. I can hear it above deck. Awful. That's why I put the sign up, please do not rewind after watching. At least that way nothing gets taped anymore. I'm sure I can fix it. My hero. We were talking earlier, she has an intuition for these things. Not intuition, just experience. You should meet Dashiell. He did a lot of volunteer work at WEVP. In the early days, wiring up antennas and relays and stuff like that. I think you two would have a lot to talk about. He works at the telephone exchange. No, I'm afraid he's been let go. Oh yeah? That's odd. He still takes the ferry to work every day. I'm sure he's at the telephone exchange right now, in fact. I dropped in there a few hours ago. Stopping at the telephone exchange again shortly to deliver their mail and pick up their trash. You should go to ashore when we do. Ask for Dashiell. Dashiell. Who is called Dashiell? Okay, I thought I clicked out the game for a second, but it's fine. I really miss a chance to lunge on the beach, the Rum Colony, and I do enjoy a drink, though I don't find their signature liquor suits me. But this time I elected to stray aboard and shoot a breeze with Kate over some mineral water. Still I heard reports. Is this Conway? Might win a Demons Cups. Wait, oh, I don't think so. Missed an appointment, but didn't seem perturbed. I'm sure those two were more eager to listen to the house band. I can't remember exactly who was playing, but Patch always has someone in to tranquilize the crowd. Okay. I have no idea how this entire series is gonna end, by the way. I guess it ends up with us getting to Dogwood Drive. When we were talking about the Rum Colony, I should tell you about Patch. He's the bartender, general manager, creative director. I guess that's when he books music. I guess that means he books the music. He pretty much runs the place for the last 7 years. A lot of folks assume he owns it. That's not the case. The Rum Colony is owned by a dead man named Vernon. Technically it would be owned by a power company, who once bought a sizable interest from Vernon as a part of that state-sponsored investment program, but a clause in that arrangement requires them to keep their hands off day-to-day and most profits so long as Vernon walks this earth. The upshot of all this is that nobody came forth to identify the body. Patch is a good guy though, kind, trustworthy. It makes us a strong Maite, if that's your thing. Whew. This game gets a little confusing with all its rambling, I guess. It's even more confusing to me. Is this the telephone pole? Valkyrie and Homer. Claire, Kate, and I don't even know. Oh wait, that's Shannon, right. Valkyrie and Homer launch back there, below thing. Stopped to do some I don't know. Are we playing as Valkyrie now? The Mucky Mammoth. Excuse me. Hello? Wait. Is it these two? Oh yeah, it is! It's the two dogs, I forgot. I was like, who are those dogs? So we literally just watched them there, okay. Well, those two gentle beasts kept things under control aboard the Mucky Mammoth and went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public... I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. He called into my answering machine, which I routinely neglect for intervals and months, to chip away at the pile. Kate checked in on a client of hers. She's a birth doula, in addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Claire talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Anyways, the evening hit a low point not much later on. So, let's take a quiet moment here to listen to the river and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. Here we are on a little tugboat boat. Just waiting for whatever, where are we going? I don't really know, I just know we're going towards Dogwood Drive. I have no idea why this Dogwood Drive. I actually don't know why Shannon even followed us in the first place. Like, this is the zero, isn't this kind of like far away to go for just a TV technician who isn't even supposed to be here? This would taught us a card game. Or Shannon Ezra, the old man I stopped at the center to make some quick cash. Why? Ezra taught us a card game. Oh yeah, right. That entire scene with the dogs. There's just one entire scene. What's up, Southern boy? 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. What are we listening to? Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. Wiesings, something like that. Sounds good in the Mammoth's PA. That's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. Ezra draws a card. 9 gray feathers, 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Yeah, I don't know how to play this game. 9 gray feathers. Stay focused. No, I got it. I've got 7 blue petals. And 5... Oh no, it's 9, 7, 3. This game's more difficult than it sounds, my friend. Still pretty good. And we're only, how many cards in now? 5 or something? I only assume it'll go to 52. Yeah, it's the whole deck. So in some cases there may be a stalemate though. Not with this crowd, I don't think. We're all too soccer brained. I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Shade ground, licking boiled with the peel of them. Oh yeah, you're the one who does the weird, like you're into fungus and stuff like that, right? And you make like home remedies like pseudoscience or something. Then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it. You can smell it if I get close. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for good memory. If I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Oh, don't worry, the soccer brain has benefits too. Your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression. Like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand. It can but like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away. So there's a trade-off, you see. It's a shame we can't have a bit of both ways, isn't it? What's this card game called, Ezra? So these two, so that's Kate. And that's Clara, okay. Remembering game. Oh, so it's about remembering. Oh. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I'm just gonna take a bite of my food. Oh, okay, never mind. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money. And that lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlets of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. The mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper. Though Kate says once they left half of the vending machine at the dock. But nobody seemed too interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. So this is still Shannon, right? It takes place in a small town in the Pacific Northwest. The town is never named, but it's colorfully described. Woolly fog, broken coastline, provincial shopkeepers. Main characters are mail carriers. The co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi's older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work. They have playfully antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. Reminiscences about a cat. History of their work together. Something got messed up. A document misplaced or file under the wrong heading. I wasn't really paying close attention to that part, but the event prompted a long conversation about the procedural history of their work together, and that illustrated a history of their friendship in broad, suggestive strokes. In my life's work as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that carefully excerpted moment is more powerful than any epic story. That's my excuse anyway, for reading books from the inside out. Echo River's premier. So who is this? So I stopped there. My eyelids getting heavy. We're heading back to the lake, and a chance to encounter with the Iron Pariah. What? It kinda throws me for a loop sometimes. Sometimes I don't even know who's talking. This could be Shannon, it could be Kate, actually. But, I don't know. Relaxing. This game is very relaxing. If not a little bit frustrating, because sometimes you don't always know what's going on. How long is this river, by the way? Are we gonna get to Dogwood Drive, like, ever? Because I would appreciate that. As a person. There's actually... Oh, what's that? Is that trash at the bottom? There's something floating there. I took a nap. Or... Cade forage for mushrooms. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. So we're gonna see them foraging for mushrooms now? I'm gonna take a quick bite of my food before anyone starts talking. Oh. Sorry. This looks really pretty. Oh, hello. Whoa. She lit a second cigarette with the embers of the first one. She trembled, sweating a little under the heavy coat. What? It was warmer near the doors, but she was following directions. No smoking within 25 feet of the hospital. Pluck something white from the other side. What? Pleurosabella porrigens. The common name is angel wings. Isn't that pleasant? They have a delicate springy texture and they're tasty like sweet moss. Ew. Would you like a bite? Sweet moss doesn't sound very tasty to me. Personally, I like to be able to tell where my food came from by flavor alone. I like to taste my surroundings. I mean, it keeps me connected to the whole thing. My mushroom hunting mentor told me it's useless to pretend to know mushrooms. They escape your erudition the more you know them, and the less sure you feel about identifying them. She taps the cover of a small red book she's carrying. That's why I always bring my favorite guidebook. Kate points to the small mushroom growing in the dirt. Oh, here's an important one. Here's an important one to recognize though. Look, see this sort of greenish pallor of the cap? Aminata phalloides. That's Greek. Amanita means mushroom, and phalloides means never mind. It smells like honey. Yeah, sort of nauseating. Sort of nauseating though, right? Like sickly sweet. Death cap. That's the common name. It's killed a lot of people. This little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors, is revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do. Clear away old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserved a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a shopping list. Are you shopping for death caps? Great, look for... Let's just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in this bag. Let me know when you're done, and we'll see what you got. Have fun. That's the second rule of mushroom hunting. The first rule is ask Kate before eating anything, okay? Ooh. We're not gonna find it in a plastic bag, so we're gonna check the stump instead. Striped brown, blue, gray, white. Caterpillar crawls along one of them. Didn't like to play in the house. It was always too cold. It seemed to store up the cold. What? Feel the other windows. But he liked to play in the woods behind the house. He didn't have any friends nearby, and none of their neighbors seemed to children of age, so he played alone in the woods. Alone, except for the deer. Inspects the mushroom. It smells spicy, sweet, mild. So what's this? What's this text in the middle of it all? It smells spicy, sweet, mild, like how Israel expected his father's tobacco to taste, when he hastily chewed and swallowed a noxious fistful, and spent the afternoon retching in secret. So he ate tobacco. That's not a good idea. He heard someone calling his name, probably his mother, but her voice didn't sound right through the trees. He kept going. Okay. Let's poke at the cypress tree. Clump of mushrooms. Okay. The woods were full of deer. His dad said the deer liked best to live on the edges of the forest. Recent development in these areas created a lot of fresh edges, so they massed here and sometimes ran into the road. Okay. Looked dried out and brittle, almost like tree bark. He heard strange, gruff voices back in the direction of the house, and something that sounded like a choked sob or sharp rebuke. He kept going. What? I'm uncomfortable about this. Listen to the water, distant clicking of bats. So I can't. What's some mud? What the heck is going on? He tripped on protruding root and lay for a while in the mud, examining the pale upper branches of the sycamore tree, listening to the soft rumble of a faraway thunderstorm, then louder, closer, and his hair stood on end. There was the bird. Wow, that looks like a haul. Let's see what you got. Ezra hands Kate the striped mushroom he took from the tree stump. If only I could read, that would be great. Oh great, this is called turkey tail. Delicious and good for the immune system. Ezra hands Kate the brittle brownish mushroom they took from the cypress tree. Ah, brown gold. Most people call these sheep's head, but it's an alternative medical. but in alternative medicine circles, it's better known as the Japanese name, maitake, the dancing mushroom. Apt because you do find a little happy dance. You do a little happy little dance when you find one. Oh my god, read. It fights cancer, supports the immune system, regulates blood sugar, and tastes like eggplant. This one's a bit old and tough, but it's nothing that can be solved with a lot of butter. Good find, Ezra. You got me beat. I didn't find a thing. So... you have a brother out there somewhere? Julian. He's gonna come find me in the morning after the work is done. Yep, we work pretty hard. We used to spend part of each night looking for my folks. But now, we pretty much just work. But maybe that'll change now. I have a few friends. Do you have a family? I left home when I was very young. Not much older than you, actually. So that was the story of him, right? I left home when I was very young. Not much older than you, actually. Years later, my mother got sick. And I tried to visit her, but it was too late. She was all spaced out on fevers and morphine. Basically been on my own since then. Well, that's not really true. Just about everyone who sets foot on the Mucky Mammoth feels like family to me now. I guess if nobody's family, then everybody's family, right? These are the only trees in this whole cave. Who planted them here? What's this island for? Oh yeah, we're still kind of like a cave area. What's this island for? Looks like someone made it on purpose. What? Oh right, it's kind of nice. Simple shape, pleasantly minimal island geometry. Months later, she came across a book of homeopathic medicine. Bookstore and bought it. I'm sure it could be natural though. I mean, I don't know if the island itself is man-made or not, but I guess I don't know about this place really. It's supposed to be some kind of memorial or something to something. Well, we'll know more. Or it's a mystery. Ezra kicks the dirt. So that's her story now. It's a mystery. I'll search for clues. She put out her cigarette, said goodbye to the hot dog vendor, and spent the rest of the afternoon listening to the doctors and trying to understand the world as they did, as a list of discrete injuries to be mended. What's that sound? That sounds freaky. Investigate the cypress. Large stone monument? Is there a large stone monument? Reads the text to rock graffiti. That sounds creepy. Oh, plastic bottles. It projects. There's a scrap of paper inside the bottle. Ezra takes it out and reads it. Eggs, flour, it's okay. Contents of his pockets. Alright, what do you got? The stone-faced monument has X+O forever painted on it. Interesting. What do you think it means? Hug and kiss forever? Well, it could be initials. Xavier and Olivia forever. Cersei's and Olivia? Or Oliver? What do you think that monument is for? I'm not sure anyone remembers.
Is that a boat filled with screaming cats?
I found this message in a bottle. Could you stop screaming? Looks like somebody's grocery list. Well, Ezra, I can't say I know what all that's up to. Like I said, I wish Will were here. He'd have some local history for us. We can ask him back on the boat. Look up for the battleship. Up in an old battleship drifting by. Oh, there it is. The Iron Pariah. Don't worry, it's just passing by. What do you think of it? Ezra's parents shook him awake. They seemed alarmed, but not immediately concerned. They led him back to the house, past the house, and to the car. Is it full of ghosts? Oh, I don't know. Probably. There's a lot of cats, though! I mean, no, definitely not. You don't believe in ghosts, do you? No. I've never met a young kid who really believes in ghosts. Lots of older people do, though. I wonder why that is. I heard it was in the Civil War. I guess they had boats full of soldiers and supplies going up and down the Ohio River. And they fought on the river, like boat to boat, with cannons or something, I guess. Machine guns. I'm no military historian, as you can probably tell. Anyway, I guess this one got lost and somehow ended up all the way down here. Maybe it slipped into a cave north. They're all connected underground. There's another version of the story where it didn't get lost. It was full of deserters. They came down here to hide. Maybe that's why it's a pariah. Supposedly there's no one aboard. People, I mean. There must be something on there. Life is everywhere. Rats, insects, some kind of hardy mold. And cats! Part of it could be flooded and host some eyeless fish that live in the echo. And maybe there are some mushrooms growing in there, slowly consuming military rations from over 100 years ago. More mysteries. They do pile up over time as people forget the details. Thanks for taking me mushroom picking. Mushroom hunting. You can pick apples because they're right out there in the open. Mushrooms hide. You have to hunt for them. Cool. Dad said they were going to stay at the bus station for a while. The one with a little arcade with a card game he liked. Dad watched him closely in the rearview mirror, expecting Ezra to be excited or confused or scared, but he didn't feel anything. He hardly seemed to hear. In fact, he felt like he was observing the family car from a distance, from far above, from the clouds. I don't know quite what to gather of information from that, to be honest. Yeah, it's time to go. I don't really know what information to gather about this. It seemed like we got some information about both Kate and Ezra, which is cool because we don't really know anything about those characters. But then again, I don't know how long Kate is going to stick along. See that rough circle of rocky protrusions near the shore? It's more intricate than it looks. More than 2/3. More than 2/3 of it is actually underwater. I haven't seen it myself, but listen to this. Oh, it's that thing. I thought I would talk about this. It's man-made. The rocks weren't placed according to their size, so that what's visible is more or less uniformly random selection of overall shape. It looks like it might be a spiral, all told, or maybe some kind of meditative labyrinth. At the head of it, it's a petrified oak stump. It was moved here from above ground, of course, decades ago. That's where the ceremony took place. The Lucky Looks? Is that a Lucky Luke? Were married here. Many frail-tongued observers said they should just go with lock or luck. Or split the difference between look, or even lick, or really anything else, but it was never gonna happen. What? Were high school sweethearts. They took chemistry class together where she challenged him to shoot the moon, learning formulae and compounds well enough to answer every test question exactly wrong, and achieve a perfect failing grade. What? Engagement was welcome news for the family business, who had been looking for some opportunity to merge interests. The natural next step was to start a local paper, what would become the Echo River Evening Record. The ceremony itself was humble and perfunctory. It must have somehow involved these rocks. Probably the rocks marked the boundaries between the two families. Locks on the inner loop and locks on the outer, or the other way around. And it must have also involved that petrified stump. The family is particularly religious, but rumors persist that the officiant wore a robe. Shannon helped me fix some mushrooms too. See, this is kind of confusing because sometimes you get these insights of lore about the world, but they are way too it would take a lot of analyzing from my part to be able to do this, and I don't really have the time for it in episodes like these. But then it sometimes just cuts back to the relatable story, because that's the only thing I can really pick from this is the story right now. I know we're going to Dogwood Drive. I know that we've got basically assembled a crew at this point. We got Shannon, who probably has a dead sister, sort of maybe haunting her in a way. And then we have Junebug and Johnny, who are just kind of they were escapees from an android facility, where now they try to live as normal humans as much as possible. And might even consider having a baby. I don't know if they can have a baby or anything, but that's all I know. And I know that we're going to Dogwood Drive, and that this is going to be Conway's last delivery before he starts working at the rum thing or whatever. Shannon helped me fix up our mushroom stew in the kitchen. So is that Kate? Maybe we can hear who's actually talking now. I believe it was Kate, because she likes mushrooms and stuff. Or fungus. Wait, no, it was Will? Had a few more of these really big cats with the slimy gills. I shouldn't say slimy, moist. The lady in the video called for portobello, but I never knew. I prefer never to know mushroom by name. So this is breakfast stew? It will be, but not today. The stew for tomorrow. This is simmer all day. Some things are just better done slowly. We've added anonymous mushrooms, so next I got a recipe video on the pause next door. I used to follow a recipe I learned from Ida herself. The best cook you're gonna get on this river. Of course, it had a few secret ingredients. She has the good sense to preserve some mystery around her cooking. Better for business. Ida is so shrewd. She swore me not only to secrecy, but to ignorance. I had to promise to forget the recipe just as soon as I'd cooked it. Let me tell you, it's not easy to forget something on purpose as you may think, my friend. Not so easy. Let's, I guess, get the recipe. Well, how are you doing, Conway, with your skeleton leg? Crushed tomato, salsa, even a little ketchup. Here's the thing nobody has to know. Throw in more of that spice blend we threw together earlier. Stir all that up, and crack a beer, baby. You'll have to be here for a while. What do you say you have to do? We're trying to make the stew right now. What's the last step he did? He put a couple mushrooms in, then I think he forgot what he was doing for a little while. Maybe I can help him figure out. I got kinda sucked into this program. Do I have to remember this myself? Hello, Will. How you doing? Homeless man. Even that wasn't enough to convince her. So I trained vigorously in the art of forgetting, studying for months under Master Amnesiac. Finally, I learned to forget so quickly and accurately that I was able to convince Ida to share with me the most obscure secrets of her kitchen. As a demonstration of my trustworthiness, I've got the names of my own parents, right there in front of her. Every time I wanted to cook this legendary stew, I'd call Ida up on the phone and ask her for a quick temporary reminder. In the boat, we haven't even got a phone line, so I have to seek out culinary wisdom on videotapes and cooking shows. So back to the matter at hand. Next week. Did you already make the spice blend? Oh, it's you. I thought. Never mind. Hello. Well, I don't know that it qualifies as a spice blend, but I spilled the salt in some of Kate's herbal tea here. Hey there, could I ask you... Wait, why are you cooking? We're stopping at Sam and Ida's in 20 minutes. It's for tomorrow. Oh, well, just don't forget about it this time. I'm not scrubbing up any more boiled over sludge. Sorry. Listen, I have a favor to ask. There's a package for the telephone exchange, and I can't get the mammoth back there. Could you deliver it for us? The guy I mentioned from the TV station, Dashiell Morse, works there now. Though you might like to chat with him anyway. Thanks a lot. I've got the dinghy all ready to go. Maybe take your friend with you. One of you can man the outboard motor, and the other can aim the flashlight. It's dark. So we're gonna control a boat? So we're gonna meet some dude called Dashiell. Oh god, by the way, the last episode is gonna come out this year, and I have a feeling it's gonna take a long time. Oh, it's a dinghy. Thanks again for your help. This has been as far as the best as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights disturb the bats. So you'll pass through the bat sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or excuse me, Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. They changed the name when the power company took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the bat sanctuary. This package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. We'll meet you on the other side of Sam and Ida's for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river, can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on the way in, just before the bat sanctuary. I always recommend people at least to stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of... I don't really know how to describe it, but you should check it out. Okay, bye. Oh, we are drifting away. Ooh. Whoa. Conway... Is Ezra with us? Or is it just a dog? I see Doggo, I see Conway, and I see Shannon. That's all I see. No, I think it's just a... What happened to his arm? Ooh. I don't remember what happened to Conway's arm. We claim these helmets in the names of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greedy green eye of the power company who bought up our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead when the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water too, and swept through hidden tunnels into some awful cave we never will find, and so we guess the water buried them for us. So let this be here let this here be the marker for their grave. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take back these helmets as company property, just you try it and see what'll happen. Hey Elkhorn, that's the mine we went in, where your folks worked. Looks like it's been here a while. Sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. You think whoever wrote it is still that angry? Sure angry, mainly just hurt. Yeah. Everybody's got their own way, I guess. Burst us up. I mean, how do you... It's fine, I'm glad this is here. People should remember this happened. Ooh, I guess it would. Yeah, it's understandable. I guess that's what a memorial should do, huh? Help you hang on to your feelings. Otherwise they fade away. That's just what time does. This is cool. Like, this game has its really cool moments. Sometimes it can get a little heavy, sometimes it can get a little confusing and maybe a little bit hopeless and hopelessly pointless in a way. Hello! Like, now might be one of those confusing moments. Hello, Skellate boy. I still don't know why you're here. I believe you work for the Rum Company, right? What? What are you looking at me like I'm crazy? Are you feeling okay? Oh, sure, it doesn't hurt anymore. My leg it's just kinda numb, like it's not there. My shoulder too, actually. That's an old one, though, from an accident. I'm lucky I just had some nerve damage there. It probably should have been a lot worse. Wait, did he always have that arm? I don't think he did. Or maybe it's just because, like, he usually wore a jacket, you know, like a big jacket, so you couldn't see his arm. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation, just like the rest of us. And one of them said to me earlier they could even help me take care of these medical bills for my leg, you know. Get it all together on a plan. Consolidate it. What? When did you talk to them about that? Well, they're around. They're pretty much everywhere you look. On this river? Haven't you really noticed? Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even for me? Hey, why not? Seems like we're getting pretty close to finding your cousin. Oh yeah, not sister, cousin. And besides that, you're young and smart. Plenty of time to bounce back from whatever. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira, the Set's husband. To be honest, Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow this got it into her mind that he would have wanted me to take the truck someday. To have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for all the yelling he did. Maybe so his ghost could hold it over me. Just one more thing to feel like I owed him for. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that the antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. Hello! I was thinking you could take it. Barely know you. Hell, I barely know anyone. It's not like I'm going to give the truck to my damn brother or something. I don't even know how to get a hold of him these days. But just think about it anyway. You've been doing me a favor, you know? One less thing to deal with. I guess you could use it to like it's a pretty antique truck, you know. Those things are kind of retro and cool. Why do they make like an electric sound? is because they symbolize to be from the company. Visitors to the Echo River split-nosed brown bat artificial hibernacum sanctuary are asked to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. What? Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave or suspected to host bats infected with white nose syndrome. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores ashore with you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. The split-nosed brown bats is confused by light. If you're using a lantern or any other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract or confuse bats. If you are approached by bats, do not panic. Relax, stop your vehicle, switch off your light. Never touch a bat. Okay, but anyways, this episode's going on for long enough. This game, oh boy, as I'm saying, it gets into the thick of it sometimes. Sometimes it goes off on kind of like an artsy tangent, which you kind of have to take some time to like, you need some time to analyze it and think about it. But when you're playing a Let's Play like this and you just kind of have to roll with it, you don't really have that. Like, I do take my breaks sometimes to just, like, kind of talk to you guys and explain my thoughts about it, but I don't really get that same possibility. So if you want to play this game by yourself, then I highly recommend you do, because you'll definitely get a different experience out of it if you can allow yourself to take that time and play the game, like, at your own pace while you kind of stitch things together in your head. Because right now, I have a basic idea of what's going on, but there's a lot of things I could analyze, which is also what I'm going to look into when I'm done with episode 4. I'm going to talk about, like, or maybe even before I finish episode 4, I'm going to look through everything and kind of, like, analyze other people's thoughts and, like, kind of stitch the whole story together so I can explain it all in the end. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.